Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of our coaster. We are finally back in our coaster. I made a little Twitter poll a few weeks ago and basically it's a week ago, I guess. And I asked what you want to see more on this channel, and it appeared that quite a lot of you wanted to see our coaster more. And honestly, there was kind of a break in it, which has to do with this little thingy on the left hand side here, and also with this over there and general. So I thought, okay, let's take the chance and make a little update today. And also we're gonna start, this is not just an update, it's also the step 1 of a new coaster, which is cool, but that's something we talk about later. First of all, I wanted to give you a little update on our coaster, because since the last episode a lot has been happening, and therefore we go with the first coaster I ever made in this park is the aerodynamic suspended swing coaster thingy, which was the start of the series, and with a lot of criticism at the beginning, which was justified, and I believe with a kind of good final result. And then we moved on with this B&M invert, and for those of you who have seen that one will maybe notice that there is already a change to it, but here's the story. So a lot of people were kind of disappointed with the layout. It is quite a long time ago that I built this one, and now after a ton of other coasters I built and videos I made and stuff, and you know, I came a lot more into this coaster nerdism than I ever believed before, and now I can really say that I do understand why there has been so much criticism. Back then I wasn't that happy about that, because I felt, well, it is not that bad, right? But it was definitely that bad. It's still not good, but I won't be doing anything about the layout. We will oh no, we won't have a POV of this one. I just show you quickly what I've done. So basically I changed this completely weird area over here. So we had this kind of strange helix thing going on. We had a inverted loop going into a mid-course brake run, which was totally not positioned well. We had some absolutely bad transitions all over the place, and then I started to theme it, and the theming looked awful, and I changed so much that I have now decided to completely go into this area and redo it entirely. And what I've done is I deleted the strange looking helix over here. I also changed the way how it goes into the looping, and I made this overbank turn over here, which is not the most beautiful thing, but I believe it's a better option to round up this area than it was before. I also changed a little bit of the overall pace of the coaster. It should be better now. It's still a tiny little bit too fast for my taste, but it is a quite intensive ride, so that's it. I won't do anything more about the coaster. That's it. I will just theme around a little bit the rest of the queue and the exit, and that's about it. It's nothing major going on. I won't do too much, and this is, I will make one more episode as a speed build of the theming of this area, and then you will have the final POV cinematic video. That's about it. Then we can finally close the chapter of this B&M invert, and we may want to do a new one in the future as well, just to tackle the B&M invert a tiny little better than we have done over here. Never mind. The next step then was the hypercoaster over here, which is a really big one, and the thing is, I'm really pleased with the end result, and I do think that most of you are as well. We had some clinch about the final area over here, which I believe now is a really nice final thing we did do, so I'm quite happy with the outcome. I love the station, I love the looks of it, I love the skyline. I have to say, I love this coaster. So back in the time, this was by far my best coaster I made. But then there was something which came to my mind. It was a totally weird and random idea, and this is what happened. I built this beautiful, and honestly I'm really, the problem is I don't want to say this about my own stuff, but honestly this is a beauty. I love this one. I never actually thought it would work out that well, but I just wanted to do this again and just want to build a kind of hamburger rich coaster. One of this one is broken down, right? All the people are going out anyways. So the thing is, I love how the colors work together. I love the Bauhaus styled station. We talked a lot about this in the episodes, and it is definitely our coaster, but it is not in the way that we had our coaster running before. So you couldn't give your opinions on this, and I didn't change it according to your opinion because I basically built this in one go, and I'm pretty happy. And this is now my best coaster, hands down, I've ever made, and I'm quite sure that this is really a good one. I mean, yeah, obviously I know about some concerns regarding the different types of coasters, but it's a concept. And it's the funny thing is, just a few days after I released the video, and I didn't know that, in China was announced that a coaster like this is being built. So the world's first ever dueling, glued together, whatever coaster is being built over there in China, and it's really crazy. If you want to check that out, go to the video of the POV. I have linked that in the description. Maybe I'll do this in this video as well, but yeah, never mind. It's not the topic of this video, but I just wanted to show you the finished result. I also love how this with the lake incorporates and everything like that, and yeah, I can't wait to finish this area over here to give it a polished look in the end. So yeah, that's what I did after the hypercoaster, and now I have been trying around with the new freedom we have in the game, so to say, and I tried a little Eurofighter concept. As I said, our coaster is not meant to rebuild a realistic coaster. It is about building a coaster together which could be built in the real world. So obviously we will try to be as accurate as possible in terms of the realism aspect of the coasters, like banking and angles of the hills, air times, and whatsoever. But it isn't supposed to be a series, and I keep on saying this in each and every episode, but I think it's just important to do so. As I said, it is not the way to rebuild a coaster, like getting the realistic parts of a coaster and slap them together. It's more about creating together something new, and this is now your go. It's the first ever episode of the Eurofighter layout, and now shoot! Don't hesitate to put everything down you think about this in the comments below. We will make an on right now, but beware of the fact that this is very much work in progress, so it's a lot of work to do, and I still didn't smooth it out correctly, so it's basically, as I said, a work in progress, but also it's just a concept, and I'm pretty sure that there will be a lot of criticism as well as good ideas how to improve the layout. But before we do the on-ride, let me just quickly show you exactly how the layout or the idea about this coaster is. So I wanted to make a launched Eurofighter, which basically is not standard, because you would have in the classic Eurofighters, you definitely have this 90 degrees hill, which then has a over 90 degree what's called downslope in a way, which then goes into the layout, and it kind of takes the momentum of the first drop throughout the entire layout. And this one is a kind of different approach. We do have the launch, and big props to Silverette. I talked about this layout with him a little bit on Discord, and I had a launch which was slightly tilt towards, or just sloped towards the top head over here, and it's not a top hat, this half-way loop. It was angled, and he was, oh, I'm not sold on this one, maybe try to go for a straight one. I tried it, I didn't know if I want to do it, but I just tried it, and it works a million times better, so I just decided then to go with a straight launch. That's about it. And I also changed the mid-course brake run, which I'm also not quite sure about if I want to leave it over there anyways. So this is basically about it. We have this first big element, which is basically the hero element of it, which gives us the speed and the pace to go through the whole layout. We have a pretty much in and out layout in that kind of sense that we repeat it a few times. So we go right, left, right, and then cross the scene and end with a kind of zigzag helix thing. So I wanted to keep some of those pretty typical Eurofighter elements in it, also with these nice and quick rotations in the inverts, so that it's really taking advantage. Yep, and there went my microphone, something broke. Anyways, sorry for the little cut. I wanted to just talk about the layout, but then we were interrupted by technology. And yeah, what I wanted to say is that I wanted to keep these elements in the inversions and take advantage of the small car and the relatively nice angle which it turns around itself pretty heavily, and this is something which Eurofighters really make stand out, that the movement is pretty much intensive because the car itself can handle inversions and turns quite a lot more narrow than a normal coaster with a lot more cars would do. So I wanted to keep that in mind as well, and as well as having an overall, you know, kind of compact footprint, which is also not for all, but for the most of the Eurofighter layouts given. So I think I actually managed to do this quite good in a way, or quite well. Yeah, as I said, not entirely sure about if everything is right. I did spend a little bit of time in researching about the coasters in general, so I hope at least to have make the overall layout kind of suitable. A few elements don't really look like how they should look. I had a lot of struggle getting them as smooth as possible and rotate correctly as possible in the way it should be, but then it looked different than it should look. But anyways, you do know about the problems in the game, but it shouldn't bother us too much because it's basically doing what it should do. We have the inversions, it rotates the way it should. But anyways, I believe you all want to jump in the car, so I want, and now let's do this. Wait before the UI is going away and hit P. Enjoy. So there we go, and this was the little on-ride. So what I do like about it is the kind of pace it has. So yeah, speed-wise it is really cool. At least I do like it the way it is. And the other thing is, as you have seen, most of the elements, the transitions are not perfect. So that's a lot of work to do. But now it's your turn. Go into the comments and just, yeah, let me know what you think about the layout, what should we improve, and do whatever you want. Just give me a good argument how to change and what to change. And as always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.